What's up, everyone? So we're still looking at KPA's Road to BAL way back in 2019, and they were playing against BVH Heat Basketball Club, and they blew them out by a lot of points, and they really dominated every single quarter. I mean, first quarter was a 33-point performance. The second quarter was another domination. The BVH Heat Basketball Club, they only scored like 6 points in the second quarter just to round out the half. I mean, they only had 18 points, and it was just another scoring barrage in the third and fourth quarters. And looking back at this performance, it was one of the most dominant performances you've seen from KPA, especially on a FIBA Road to BAL stage in the qualifying tournaments. So this was just to show us how good KPA were, and the guy who just came out of the good works and out of the gate with his performance was Kennedy Washira. He racked up 27 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. And this man had a plus efficiency of plus 30. And the other guy who he was matched up against from BVH Heat Basketball Club was Timmy Adam. He had a plus 15 efficiency, 24 points, 2 rebounds. So you could see Washira, he filled majority of the stats, especially he filled up the stat sheet, except blocks, but he's not required to short block, because when you have good centers, like at the time there was Kyle Karanga, we had Valbuze, we got Joe Byron, so there was no requirement for him to show up that much defensively, because his scoring made the difference, and they were able to add up and rack up them points. But KPA, I mean, what they did to this team, it was just another scoring barrage. This game was not even close. Okay, the only 3 lead changes that happened throughout the whole game, and they only happened, interestingly, in the first quarter. At the end of the first, I mean, the KPA side, heading into the second quarter, they just established the dominance, and they just pounded BVH Heat Basketball Club. They just mollywhopped them in this game. But looking at the way in the third quarter, the majority of the third quarter, I mean, both teams didn't even score, like they weren't able to score like consistently. But in the end, KPA were able to pull away and just continue adding onto the points. But looking at the way they scored per quarter, you could see BVH Heat B-Ball Club, they were able to rack up them points at the rate at which KPA were racking them up. Although KPA had like a slight scoring slump in there, they were able to rack up 34 points in the third and 12 points only for BVH Basketball Club in the third quarter. But looking at the rebounds, I mean, it was just a dominating performance, especially from the KPA's big men. 62 total rebounds, 40 defensive rebounds, and 22 offensive rebounds. So second chance points were on lock, and this was something that the other opposing side, BVH Heat, weren't able to stop. And looking at even the shooting, like it was 60% shooting. The previous game they were 61% shooting from the field. This one was 60. The game they played against BGNBC, 60% shooting from the field. The KPA's offense at the time was running on all cylinders, as they were able to shoot and score the basketball at will. 68% shooting from 2-point field goals, 26% from deep, and 46% from the free throw line, which is not acceptable. But the way that they showed up, especially on 2-point field goals, made the difference, and those offensive boards were the key contributing factor as to why they're able to win that game. And in the steals, 25 total steals, a rare 25 total steals by KPA. It looked like KPA just touring with BVH Basketball Club at this point. 31 total assists. They dished out the rock pretty well. I mean, the turnovers, they minimized the turnovers. They halved BNHB Basketball Club. Like they had like 36 turnovers to KPA's 19. KPA recorded 2 blocks. And when you foul and turnover that much, there's no way they're going to be able to win that basketball game. But looking at points from turnovers, you could see KPA had 50 points from turnovers, 67 fast break points, 30 second chance points, 88 points in the paint. Literally, KPA were literally dominating inside the paint, and it was not even a close performance. I mean, it was just one-sided. You could see KPA scored 131 points, and 88 of those points they scored them in the paint. So it was just it was just a crazy thing. And points from the bench. I mean, the bench also came out clutch. Not even clutch, like they came out dominating, like 66 points from the bench. I mean, they just really mollywhopped this team, and it was not even a close contest because we had like 6-7 players scoring 10 points or more. Kennedy or Shearer, 22 minutes played, 27 points, 68% shooting from the field. I mean, plus 54 efficiency, the highest efficiency on the team. We had Okal Karanga, 22 minutes played, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 62% shooting from the field, plus 35 efficiency, a steal and a block. Dixon Odhiambo, 15 minutes played, 15 points, 60% shooting from the field, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 assist, plus 38 efficiency. Then we've got Keegan Oyugi the late. 17 minutes played, 16 points, 75% shooting from the field. 9 assists, 6 rebounds. It was just an overall great performance, especially from the KPA side. Evans, Kipchirchir, Letting. It was 20 minutes. He played 20 minutes, 11 points, 50% shooting from the field. Joe Byron. He played 19 minutes, 12 points, 75% shooting from the field. Paul Ereng, 24 minutes played, 11 points. It was 100% shooting from the field. It was just a good outing. It was an excellent game for the KPA side because they're able to rack up the most points, like 131 points. Till this day, we're not able to see such a scoring barrage, especially from in a FIBA game. FIBA it's a 10 points quarters, so you're not able to rack up the points the way the NBA rack it up. Like the NBA, you can even hit 147 points, 150, 170 points because they are 12-minute quarters, but in FIBA it's only 10 minutes. So having a team score like this, it's like these guys they are playing with all their sliders on. If you put all the game sliders for 2K, especially on mid-range shots, inside shots, close shots, 3-point shots, if you put them at 100, this is the performance you get. And they were just a good performance, especially from the KPA side. And looking back at this, it was just spectacular to see how they dominated this side, and they're able to add on to one of the many blowouts that they had in that run. And looking back at this, it was actually amazing and spectacular to see how KPA were just really dominant. They dominated inside Nairobi. They beat every team in the 3 period, going on to the next level, and they just continued to perform like this because they just had a solid roster in there, and they just made the difference at the time. So moving forward, I'm just gonna look at a couple more games that they played and just offer my sentiments on them. So yeah, stay tuned. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about KPA basketball at the time to RoadtoBAL in 2019. And subscribe to the channel, hit that bell because you'll get a lot of videos of this nature popping by. And subscribe, hit that like button. I'm out. Peace.